Hello there my lovely jewelry makers, I'm Christina at CSLdesigns, and in today's tutorial I'm going to show you how to make these quick and easy wirework rings. This is also a great design to use up scrap wire from other projects as it only uses a few materials. So if you want to learn how to make your own, then keep watching. So the wire that I'm using is a silver coated regular round copper wire, and the first gauge here is a 1mm, which is a base wire, and then I'm going to use a 0.3mm to attach the beads with. And finally for the beads I'm using 3mm bicones, but you can really use any shape that you want. Then we'll of course use some wire cutters to cut our wire, tweezers and nose pliers to manipulate the wire with, and finally we need a ring mandrel to get the right shape and size. First we'll then need about 20cm of our 1mm for the base wire, and I've got about 70cm of my 0.3mm here to attach the beads with. Then I take my ring mandrel and my length of base wire here. Then I want to first shape this wire around the ring mandrel and about 1 or 2 sizes bigger than you want to end up with. And you just want to cross them over, doesn't matter what way. So you want them to overlap there side by side. And then we just want to start bringing the ends of the wire here over to the opposite side. So lapping over the other end. And make sure where that corner is going to be a nice curve. The same with the other end. Just bring it over the other one, add in that curve, and then they're going in opposite directions. And then we can take it off the ring mandrel, and we have what looks a little something like this. And now this is kind of the skeleton or the base of it. So now we're going to start adding our beads. And to do that, we grab a length of the 0.3mm, and we want to put the two ends together because we need to find where the midpoint is. So just something like this, and I'm just going to grab hold of it. And then we need to bring back in the base here, and first of all we want to attach this. So I'm just going to choose one end, and then we want to attach this by just wrapping the weaving wire around the base wire here. And you can do it out in the open like this. You don't have to do it straight down here because obviously, as you can see, the weaving wire moves on the base wire. So we just want to coil this around a few times, and then I'm just going to push it down to the point where the two wires overlap, or the two ends overlap on this side. So just push it down, and then it's going to sit there on the curve, and the very end of these wraps are going to sit right where the wires overlap there. Now we need to start adding our beads in, and to be able to do that we need these two ends of our weaving wire to come on the opposite sides there. So one is already in the right place on the bottom, and then the other one needs to be equivalent straight across from it on the top. So that means we just need to move that a bit, and also this will connect the two more together because the two ends are still open and can move. So it's currently coming from the top there. I'm then going to let's get the other one out of the way, wrap around the bottom one. So just go through the opening there, and then just wrap around here on the top side, again coiling until we get to the same place that's straight opposite the bottom one. Once you then got the wires in that place, I'm going to grab my first bead and just pick one of the lengths here, doesn't matter which one, and put it on the end, let it drop all the way down. And then you can see that's going to fit in there just nicely. And this wire is coming to the opposite side then. So what we need to do is grab the other wire and go through the bead as well, but in the opposite direction. And bring it out on the other side. And then just pull all the wire through nicely and gently. And then I just want to make sure that my wires are coming opposite to where the other wire is coming from. So on this side here, this is coming out and going over the top. So what I just want to do is bring this down to come below that base wire. It's just so we can continue the same direction of the wraps and make it nice and consistent. And on the top here, it's coming over the top where the original one came below, so that is fine. And then I just want to continue wrapping here. So on the bottom one, we're wrapping around the bottom there. Just bring it through that gap and then push it through the ring band and make sure the coils are nice and tight, and then just wrap until we reach the point where we would add in the next bead. And on the top, same thing, you just want to wrap through that opening again so they sit straight opposite each other, and we're ready to add in the next bead. And then we just add in the next bead in the exact same way. So go to the end of the wire, add your bead, let it drop all the way down, and then go through the bead in the opposite direction with the other wire and pull the wire through, and then the wires there are crossing inside of the bead. Pull it down nice and tight, get the wires into position, and then you just want to start wrapping again in the same way on the top as well until we have them so we can add in the next bead. And you just want to continue doing this until you've filled up all this space with the beads that you want. So now I added the last bead that I've got space for, then all I'm going to do is take my wires here, weaving wires, and keep coiling them around the base wire, both sides, until the point where the base wires meet up and overlap each other, just like where we started out. So then all that's left to do is finish off all the wires. So I'm just going to start with the base wires, and I'm just going to start on one side and hold on to where the overlap kind of is, and then I'm going to start pushing the end here of the base wire down towards the ring band and bring it through gently. Just put a gentle curve in there all the way to the other side so that it wraps around the base wire that's creating the ring band, and then just make sure it's nice and tight. You can do that using pliers, just tighten that up. Then I'm going to go in and cut off the excess, and I make sure to cut off so that when it's cut, the end of the wire that's left on it will fit perfectly and basically meet up with itself. So just bring that in, and then you can just tighten it up there so it kind of butts up against the side of itself like that, so the end isn't sticking out and catching or scratching on anything. And just do the same thing on the other end here. Now the weaving wires, I'm just going to cut off basically where that final wrap is, and make sure that when I've cut it off, the end that's left isn't kind of on the outside, but it's just tucked away nicely, and use your pliers for that, in where that overlapping point is. Same with the other one. Just bring it around one last time, but instead of obviously doing another wrap, I'm just going to cut off the excess and then flatten it down and just tuck it into place. And then you have your finished ring. And then your ring is done and ready to wear. So a quick and easy ring where you can really play around with the colors and shapes of beads, and they're great for stacking as well. So I really hope you enjoyed this one. Now if you don't want to miss out on any future updates, make sure to sign up to my newsletter. You can find the link in the description box below. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one.